I'm going to do a quick demonstration. We've collected some comical effects of how fraudsters are sharing their information out there. It's quite funny from our point of view. I mean, we're seeing TikTok channels, we're seeing Telegram channels where there's open discussion and communication. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and then show everyone what's happening in the background. Afterwards, we're going to have a quick round of intros from the panelists. We're going to gather some practical advice from each of the panelists, and then there's going to be an open discussion around how we can actually improve when it comes to sharing information in the fraud prevention space. Fraudsters are really good at it. What's even more worrying is that we no longer have to go on the dark nets if we want to get our hands on some carding tutorials, right? I mean, we have open Telegram channels that we can easily access. They take us through in a step-by-step manner in order to get our hands on some valuable information. On Reddit, I mean, there's an illegal life pro tips subreddit, which is an open community again, where any wannabe fraudster or newbie to the industry can just go. They can read up on comments in terms of how to do this from actual fraudsters, and this is basically a carding tutorial in itself. Now, one step ahead of that is if we look at YouTube, there's full carding tutorials out there, how to learn, how to scam in like 7 minutes.
And then you say the other side is just being altruistic and wanting to help and just be a good guy or gal. That's good, but somewhere in the middle, there has to be some things we can do to motivate, incentivize people.
And one of the biggest challenges to me is how do we do that internationally? Because fraudsters are global. They attack different jurisdictions, and yet we very much look at it at a domestic level.
That this internet thing has opened up the world to them, and it's probably only in the last 5 years, I would say, that they've evolved to the point where you've got criminals in Eastern Europe masquerading as UK residents or US residents, and as ever, we are always reactive.
I think one of the issues is we used to worry about the dark net. Now everything's on the surface net, as you say, and we found out about TikToks being used only recently. Before that was Instagram, Snapchat, recruiting in people to be money mules, recruiting people into certain scams. So it is a huge problem. We need to embarrass the social media companies to do more about it, to police that.
I think there needs to be some sort of regulation to get illegal content off of websites, right? And without a consequence, there is no incentive to do it. Some bad press is not great, but is that really enough to build that business case to do it on an ongoing basis?
Fraud and financial crime at the levels we're talking about is not really seen as a criminal offence by many law enforcement agencies. So we have a choice. We either do it ourselves and protect ourselves, or we continue to have these conversations ad nauseum.